that money, 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 money. For that money, 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 money. That money, 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 money. Niggas turn on their brother. For that money, 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 money. That money, 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 money.
Welcome back to the Anecdote Podcast with your hosts Ian Knowles and Mickey Brown.
Howdy, y'all.
Tips hat. Okay, so now I'm on board with the index funds. I'm all aboard the index fund train. Toot toot. And so where do I go from here?
Okay, so if your employer offers a 401k, that's the first place you go, because usually they're going to offer a 401k match. So if your match is 4% and you put 4% in to match that, I mean, you're getting a 100% return on investment right away.
So for mine, it's 6%.
Yeah, so that's, if you put in 6%, you're instantly doubling your money. It's just free money. So you absolutely do that first. Even if your 401k has really crappy funds, because your company picks the brokerage that you're going to go through. So like mine is through Fidelity. I think yours is too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have any choice. I can't pick Vanguard for my 401k or else I would. I'm stuck with Fidelity. But even if the funds are way worse, the fact that I'm instantly getting a 100% ROI by getting my match, that blows any disadvantage out of the water. The other advantage of the 401k is I'm using my pre-tax dollars. I get hit with about, when you add up all the taxes together, not just my federal tax rate, but the rest, it's practically 30% of my income. You know how they say a penny saved is a penny earned, or better, a dollar saved is a dollar earned? Actually, a dollar saved is more than a dollar earned, because for me, a dollar earned is only 70 cents after the government steals a third of it. You know? So, by using my pre-tax...
Excuse me, by steal, do you mean an unauthorized loan?
Yeah.
That they don't have to pay back?
Yeah. So, by putting pre-tax money into my 401k, I'm skipping out on the tax man, and I'm giving a legally sanctioned middle finger to Uncle Sam. And what's better than that, right?
And of course, you're going to have to pay taxes on it when you withdraw it. But the idea is that you'll be in a much lower tax bracket once you're retired.
Yeah.
And your contribution got to grow tax-free until then.
Yeah. So, once you get your company match, if your company offers an HSA, you're going to want to start putting your money in that as your next step. Because the HSA, which stands for Health Savings Account, it's a misnomer. They're calling it a savings account. They advertise it as though it were a savings account, but it's actually like a super 401k. All you have to do is get more than a certain amount in there, and then you're able to put your money into index funds.
As long as your company's insurance has a deductible over $1,350.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, see, I don't have an HSA because my deductible isn't high enough. But yeah, if your company has a high deductible health plan...
I think mine's $1,500, so it just meets that.
Okay, yeah. And then once you get more than like $500, right? About that?
Yeah, once I get over, at least I can only speak for my company and their situation with HSA, but for me it's over $500, and it actually will automatically start suggesting you invest it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so once you have over that certain amount, it goes from being a lame savings account to just like your 401k, where you can start putting it into index funds.
A super savings account.
Yeah. So you're using pre-tax dollars just like with your 401k. You're getting to tell the tax man to screw himself.
That's not very nice.
But unlike the 401k, you get to use that money whenever you want to pay medical bills. And you're getting to use pre-taxed money, which if you lose 30% of your income to taxes like I do, then that means that you can pretty much afford 30% more medical bills by using that pre-tax money. What's crazy, though, is that there's no statute of limitations. You can keep your receipts for your medical bills, pay them out of pocket normally, and instead of pulling that money out right away, you just let it sit in there and grow and grow and grow and get you all this interest, and then you only redeem those receipts when you actually need the money for something, which will be eventually, because, you know, we're all going to get old. So put them things in a fireproof filing cabinet, you know, make sure you got them. Maybe try to back them up digitally. Next, it's kind of going to depend on what tax bracket you're in. If you're a really high income earner with a really high tax rate, you're going to want to go back to the 401k at that point and start trying to max that out. The maximum contribution for your 401k is $19,000 a year currently, whereas the HSA is $3,500 if you're single and $7,000 for couples. The 401k is also higher for married couples. They're just double. So get your company match, then hit the HSA. But if you're not in a high tax bracket, the next thing you want to do is you're going to want to open up a IRA with Vanguard. This is something that you make on your own, so you get to pick who you would go with. And obviously, we're going to pick Vanguard because they're the best. And that has a contribution limit of $6,000 a year. And with that, you can do a Roth contribution, which, by the way, Roth is just named after some dumb senator. It's not an acronym. Actually, he's not dumb. He's awesome. He made it, so I shouldn't insult the man.
What an idiot. Best I've ever met.
Yeah, he kicks ass. He's the one who pushed for the Roth account through Congress. That's why they named it after him. And you use your post-tax dollars to buy it. So it's just normal money out of your pocket, like anything at the store. But since you've already paid taxes on that money, you can withdraw your contribution whenever you want. There's really no reason for you to put money into your savings account until you've maxed out your Roth IRA for the year, which is $6,000. The gains that it makes, however, that you can't get back until you're 59 and a half. But if you wait until you're 59 and a half, you can pull all those gains back completely tax-free because you already paid taxes in the beginning. So you don't have to pay taxes on the growth, and that's pretty awesome. So if you're in a high income, you're going to want to go all pre-tax with that 401k and that HSA. If you're lower income and you're not worried about trying to dodge taxes, then, and especially if you think that you may be making more money in the future, you think that you're going to get a big job, a big raise, a big promotion, and you're going to go into a higher tax bracket in the future, you get your company match first, you max out your HSA, then you max out your Roth IRA.
Then you go back to the 401k last if you max out all other contributions.
Yeah. And those limits go up gradually. Congress votes for it randomly, so I can't say how frequently, but every few years or so, they raise it a bit.
They actually meet to raise it every 3 months.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
So every 3 months they vote, don't raise it.
Right.
Wow. And then
every 3 years they're like, all right, let's raise it.
Yeah.
They do the same thing with intervals on taxes and like making choices on job bills.
Right. But, if you've maxed out all of those, then the only thing you can do left is set up a normal brokerage account, which you can also do through Vanguard. That's the worst type of account there is because you're going to have to put your post-tax dollars into those index funds. Then you're also going to be taxed capital gains taxes on whatever your growth is. So if I put in 10 grand and then later I withdraw 20 grand, it grew to 20 grand and I pull that out, they're going to say I made a $10,000 profit and I need to pay a 15% tax on that $10,000. I still made money, but obviously
still made $8,500 on your 10,000.
Yeah, but so obviously you're going to save that for last. And you're obviously making big money if you're
your worst case scenario is just making more money.
Yeah. And there's no limit to that, obviously. There's nothing government related to that at all. That's just an account that you have with Vanguard where you buy their funds and nothing else to it. So get the company match in your 401k, then max out your HSA. Then, if you're a high income guy and you're in a high tax bracket, go back to the 401k, max that out. If you're not in the high income tax bracket, max out the IRA. And then whichever one you are, once you've maxed out the others, you go to whichever one you haven't maxed out and you max that out. Then you go ahead.
Easily do in a weekend.
Yeah, some chump change. Then you go and you do the traditional brokerage account. So needless to say, the traditional normal account where you're going to pay capital gains taxes and all that, that's only meant for the big dogs, the...
Arr, arr.
Yeah.
Where my dog's at?
If there's any, district managers listening to this podcast that for some reason don't know how to invest their money.
I mean, you'd probably be surprised.
Yeah, it's true. But that advice is for them.
That money, 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 money. For that money, 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 money. That money, 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 money. Niggas turn on their brother. For that money, 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 money. That money, 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 money. For that money, 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 money.